What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. I said I was gonna actually do this. I want to go over more so the report, and I want to stay on top of it. Definitely want to stay on top of it. Says right here, Karmelo Anthony walks out after being released from jail on house arrest. In this case with it happened with Austin Metcalf. Says this is unsettling and the judge should be ashamed about this. Definitely wild. The whole thing that's going on.
We're up.
And if y'all don't know, these individuals, that actually was walking with, I guess they're the Next Generation Action Network. These individuals are actually in some trouble. They're in some trouble, with licensing and stuff like that. I'm telling y'all, there's some stuff that's definitely been going on. The person that's been doing it, Sarah Fields, she been on top of a lot. I got to get it to her. You have it right here. This is the judge who actually lowered Karmelo Anthony's bond from $1 million to $250K, which they raised a lot of money. They raised a lot of money to to get Karmelo Anthony out of bond. And the thing is that's very sickening to me about this whole thing. Not even trying to be funny with y'all, is the simple fact that I feel like is pretty wild to me. It's a lot of corrupt judges. A lot of corrupt judges. And I'm saying this, but to have people actually support what this young man did, or young boy, I should say, young boy, he turned 18. Anyways, Karmelo Anthony, what he did is definitely sickening, especially what you having people that even raised, and it was at $1 million, and it should have stayed at it. It should have really been higher than $1 million, but I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not even trying to be funny, because they did switch the judges. It is now Judge John Roach. And I guarantee if it was John Roach to begin with, it'd have been way higher than $1 million. I'll tell you that. Or I'm not even gonna lie, it probably would have been nothing. You got it right here. This is the post, from Sarah Fields. Says Karmelo Anthony's. This is, and I'm pretty sure it's July 18th. I could be wrong. On a date. Pretty sure it's in June. Pretty sure it got switched. But it says, according to multiple sources, his trial date more than likely, obviously is set, 2026, which is now. This is obviously last year. Says now that indictment is placed, the case has been assigned to the 296th District Court under Judge John Roach. Says Roach has the authority to overturn, the decision to reduce Anthony's bond from $1 million to $250. Judge Roach, conservative Republican, so that's one thing that a lot of people are loving. Is actually a case with a student that plotted, a shooting, and not only at one location but multiple other locations, and planned it and gave that individual 20 years. So I know for a fact within a lot of this that when it comes down to it, I think so that he actually gonna handle business and do what's right when it comes down to this case. Me personally. Got another post of multiple people that are saying, it's only under 46 days, till this trial, begins. So, that I know a lot of people are waiting on it, and y'all know me, I'm a person that's not just gonna keep stuff swept up under the rug. And I mean, that's just me being real, with y'all. when it comes down to it, and Carmelo Anthony, is now they're saying is a 900K, it's a 900,000 home in the luxury gated community, which is definitely wild to me. Says even though the family had requested the judge to lower his bond due to the financial issues, if y'all didn't see that, they placed that off of financial issues, I guess. Neighbors are saying that they aren't comfortable living by him. There are a lot of people that are obviously not comfortable, and me personally, I'm not even gonna lie. If this individual, and I feel like so many people not looking at the simple fact is more that comes with that, even though they're in the gated community. People got to look at the simple fact that he did do something. This is not me excusing him whatsoever. He did something that obviously is going to change the rest of his life. Off bat. And sadly, took another life and affected a lot of people when it comes to Austin's twin brother, his mom, his dad, his family and friends, and so forth. But, it's definitely sad. I can't, just not say anything, when it comes about that. But then again, people got to look at the fact, yes, he did do this. And that incident happened. And people looking at the simple fact, well, he ain't going to do nothing. Y'all got to look more than that. There's a lot of people that have a lot to say when it comes down to a lot. It's bringing a lot of attention. It's bringing the news, bringing this, bringing that. So when you having that going on, obviously, I want to be comfortable, with that, being around, especially with Next Generation Action Network. The way that, Carmelo's dad is acting and what he's doing is definitely crazy. So we're going to get more so into the reports about this, this arrest report. And you have it right here. Obviously, you got Karmelo. I'm not going to read all of this, but it says on April 2nd, 2025, the school resource officer heard over the radio dispatch call out a stabbing call at the stadium. This happened at, you got the fire department call notes indicated that the athlete was, stabbed. The suspect was reported as a black male wearing a gray hoodie and blue sweatpants. He said that he immediately left his office, ran across the middle school parking lot towards southwest entrance into the stadium. As I entered the stadium, and the thing is, I know a lot of people have a lot to say when it comes down, well, when the school resource officer at the thing. I'm going to tell y'all one thing about it. I feel like there's a lot of mixed things that's going down with that, with the school resource officer, because I truly feel as if honestly should have, in a sense, you never know what's going to happen and stuff like that. But something this serious, it definitely shouldn't have happened. I'm not going to lie. It definitely shouldn't have happened whatsoever. Said next I proceeded toward the north end of the stadium. Visitor side on foot. I got close to the north end. I could see a Memorial High School tent with multiple individuals under the tent. Once I arrived on the north side bleachers, an adult male who was on the track pointed out the suspect. I was not able to identify the witness, obviously because adrenaline. You're looking at the fact, where's the suspect? Who did this? I'm not paying attention to the witness. I need to know who did this, so I get it. Truly do. The individual that was pointed out to me was black male wearing a gray hoodie, dark colored Nike sweatpants. And I'm going to go to this other post you got here. Big shout out to Sarah Fields. Got the reports on lock right now. So the chain link fence that separated me from the suspect. I gave the suspect instructions to keep his hands up in the air. During this time, the suspect said verbally out loud, I was protecting myself. It should be noted that I did not question him about the incident. He didn't say, did you do this? Who did this? This, that, and the other. He said, I protected myself. Said when he made that comment, I asked him if he had any weapons. He said no. I patted him down for weapons while we were walking along the fence. I did not locate any on his person. I instructed Mel to continue to walk along the fence. When he complied towards an area, he got caught. Obviously, he got caught. I'm not going to skim through a lot of this. Y'all go check this out on Sarah Fields. Said the suspect then he said while the suspect sat on the ground, he obviously sat on the ground, patted him down and all of that. Suspect then responded and says, I'm not alleged, I did it. Because, obviously the officer said I advised that that I had the alleged suspect, and He said, I'm not alleged, I did it. So Carmelo Anthony did, say that he did it. That's in the police report. Um, you have it right here. There's other officers that obviously went over a lot of things. There's the officer that says, I grabbed my department issued digital camera, took a photograph of Anthony's hands. I later upload the photograph to crime scene, case number. So having pictures, obviously of his hands and whatnot. Going more, across this, what's going on. Frisco Police Department Emergency Communications was receiving an emergency call regarding an athlete was stabbed. Originally unknown assailant was a black male wearing a gray hoodie, blue sweatpants, and also had a goatee and short hair. Says the subject was possibly wearing a Centennial High School attire, as it was believed that he was a student there for a sporting event. If y'all don't know, Carmelo Anthony was not invited. I'm pretty sure he wasn't running. He wasn't doing any field. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to be there at all. You got it right here. The officers on scene was informed that the knife that was used was tossed and was still believed to be somewhere close. Eventually, one witness said they remember seeing it on the bleacher still. Officer Scholes, I'm pretty sure, was able to locate the knife. It was located between rows 9 and 10 near a seat 30 partially open. So one thing about it is that I definitely love that they're very, very, when I say very, their notes are spot on. Notes are spot on. The report, spot on. Everything's spot on. You got it right here. There's another Officer Taylor, and y'all can go through all of this. They have a lot of this stuff crossed over because obviously these are witnesses. While I was walking towards the visitors' bleachers, I was approached by a witness who identified himself as, they got all of it crossed over, began to tell me what happened. Asked him where the stabbing occurred. He advised what happened on a Memorial School pop-up tent, the visitors' bleachers. I immediately informed the other officer where the witness stated where it happened, the crime scene tape secured. Said advised he was sitting under the Memorial High School pop-up tent with his team. And was near the victim, Austin, and the suspect, who was later identified as Carmelo Anthony. Anthony was Centennial High School, was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Mind y'all, again, he was not supposed to be there, obviously. He was not supposed to be there under that tent. That's not even his school. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out of the other tent, under the team's tent. Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, touch me and see what happens. I feel like that right there should tell everybody everything. I'm not even about to be that person that's about to sit there and just be like, oh yeah, that's actually, like, that's wild to me. That's wild to me. For you to say, like, you need to leave, like, you obviously not up under here. I feel like, me personally, I would feel uncomfortable anyway sitting up under another school's tent. Obviously. I mean, you had to go there with some type of tension, but I don't want to assume. I don't want to assume. But that's pretty wild. They said that, Carmelo Anthony had some things that was obviously going on anyways when it came down to this, having a knife in general. Said no one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag. Obviously, at school, you wouldn't think so. But now, I mean, you can't even really think like that. But then I feel like being in person, I guess, and like just seeing something going on, and like you don't really think that somebody has, because you'd always see it on the news, you'd always see it on the video and whatnot. So you don't really take anybody serious like that, and especially as kids. Said then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see if what happens. So he's literally telling him to do it. Like, my intentions is to do, like, I want you to, and that's pretty wild to me. I'm not even gonna say. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. It's very wild to me. So a short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what we called as a knife, and poked him once in the chest, and then ran. Austin began grabbing his chest, telling him he wanted to get help. Advised he did not know Anthony's name, but stated another Memorial track member, they have his names crossed out, was friends with Anthony, and he could identify Anthony. So that's definitely pretty wild. Says then I was instructed to start a crime scene log. I received a crime scene log patrol vehicle. Began starting the crime scene log. I'm telling y'all, this is a sad thing. Even like talk about it. I'm not even gonna lie. It's definitely sad. You literally have right here, obviously, a lot of witnesses. You have a lot of witnesses, you know, from multiple schools, multiple buses. They have it all crossed out. You have a couple from Lebanon Trail High School Girls Track, Liberty High School Boys Track, Liberty High School Girls Track. You have about 10 from Liberty High School Boys Track, one girl from Liberty High School Girls Track, a lot of individuals from Memorial High School Boys Track, Frisco High School Boys Track, Independent High School Boys Track, boys and girls, and multiple of them. And you have one individual, maybe one or two individuals from Emerson High School Girls Track. So you have a lot of kids that obviously seen what happened. And it's definitely sad. Said I was also met by the following coaches who advised they witnessed the incident. You have a Centennial High School coach, heard suspect confess. You have a Heritage High School coach, heard suspect confess about, what happened. You have Independence High School coach, witnessed the incident. And you have an Independence High School coach that witnessed the incident. So you have two Independence High School coaches that witnessed an incident. And it's definitely crazy. With all these witnesses, trust and believe, I truly feel as if, me personally, and that brings me to my next thing, that most likely looking at life in prison. I don't know, I can't say too much, when it comes down to it, but it says here, should Carmelo Anthony get life in prison? I don't want to say, obviously too much, but I feel like, me personally, you got a life. You got a life that's lost, y'all. You know what I mean? You have a life that's lost, and that's, I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. I can't say too much on here. I don't want to get in trouble. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.